HBG, that's crazy.
No doubt.
They say the company you keep, but you become, so I stick by my lonely. Can't no mannequins and bounty niggas acting phony. I'm gon' keep it real till I ain't there, cause I know God the only one that really knows me. I see the fake love, they try to show me that she done for. Too many people in this world go trying to run yours. Lying pressure can't live life like I got one more. My kin we tight, we feed the flame, that's what I love for. These niggas strapped when away, what you got a gun for? These streets is cold, I gotta stay about it. Ain't no rules, you should've said it, ain't no way around it. But it's only so many things that we can say about it. When there's so much shit we can do, it ain't no way to count it. Body on my body, shit been dropping like it's normalized. Barely getting sleep because the streets done took like 4 minus 4 to guys. Is it just me and street shit getting glorified? These kids be watching us, they practice what we moralize. Check me if I'm wrong, cause I see babies killing babies. This shit nutty over money, now they shooting at our ladies. Niggas tweaking out like rabies, going crazy, can't even go on the gram when I know death, this shit is deadly. My name gon' ring a bell and I don't even need no cosign. Be gon' give him hell, then run it back just like a broke spine. Man, I miss my dog, I really wish that he had more time. Now he's a star in the sky, tell him go shine. They don't know my story, I ain't always been this quiet. I had options to take off, cause I was the only pilot. Gotta put in work, it's up to you and how you apply.
Mic check 1 2.
Yeah.
Welcome back and welcome to the King Status Podcast with me, your host, Mr. Moore the King, along with
EdBuck LC, a.k.a. Playboy Bucky.
Jay Duce.
If
Ah,
Do Say So
myself.
Welcome. Thank y'all for tuning in. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling?
What up, though?
Good.
It me.
How I feel? We all alive, black, handsome,
Very,
full beards.
very handsome. Don't forget the full beards. Got a little salt and pepper in there now, a little sprinkle. It's getting a little sexier now.
Working with this man sometimes, man. I'm giving every I know you saw me. I'm giving him every signal in the book, cuz like full beards, cuz, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, brother.
I definitely was.
I'm trying to hear
I'm
you.
thinking he agreeing with me. I'm thinking.
I'm like, yo, like, can you fix that for me, brother? I'm trying to make sure I get you loud and clear.
Bro, he definitely was trying to get me to fix the mic. Bro, I'm thinking he agreeing with me, like, cause I'm smiling and he's smiling back,
Bruh.
like.
I was so caught up in looking at the camera, I didn't
Oh,
even see none of
snap.
it. I missed the whole everything.
Nah, I was really caught up in all that, and like
But how y'all week going? How was y'all week?
I was caught up in giving a great intro.
I mean,
Nah, my week was cool. I've been definitely been back hooping a lot lately. Working out again and shit, just getting back in that mode of just being active again for real. So like, and it feel good, bro. Like mentally, just being free. Like you just out there, specifically playing basketball. Like I'm just out there, just free, just not thinking about nothing else. So it was just good to just be like that for a little while.
No, I feel that. That was one of my like biggest stress relievers as a kid. Like going to hoop,
Yeah.
like no matter how hard the day was, school, family, shit, money, nigga, going to hoop was the only thing that you had to have was a ball, and that's it.
Right.
And somebody always had one,
always.
and you couldn't and you couldn't just have to deal with nothing but with the game in front of you, and don't let you be having on fire, nigga. The whole nothing matter no more. You leave like, oh shit, I forgot.
That's what made it better for me, because I was out there. I'm out there doing little certain crossovers, but people, they was still going. I was like, hold up, I ain't start setting people up for them bad ones. I'll say, oh man, bro, they ain't out here practicing how we used to. Like, so I don't know, it just be making me feel like, bro, like I'm a little older now. Like the way that these kids be trying to talk trash and stuff like that, I'm like, man, y'all don't love the game like how we did, cause it'd be a nice little 75-degree day and the basketball court's empty. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
completely
no way in hell that would have happened when we was coming up. So
that was different. Cause even on that, like them days, like when the days was like that, when the temperature was dropping, I'm like, bro, I'm outside. I said, yo, these was the days like I would be outside all day. Like
I remember hooping in the rain, nigga. Like,
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But like, and you know, when you younger too, I'm like, bro, them 90-degree weather days outside all day too.
still
On the
dying,
court.
yeah.
Like, literally though, like I was
None of
telling
that shit
bro,
matter.
like we used to get out of school, like by the time we hit the courts, it's like 2:45. I'm like, bro, we literally wasn't getting off till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like,
Sundown. But
No,
yeah,
that's facts.
I
Great
feel
times.
good. Definitely, I was happy. What was it? Friday night, I felt like I finally got some good sleep. Man, I woke up like more refreshed. Today was the first time in like probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like I worked out, so I really feeling good. Still dream chasing.
Always.
That stuff gets, it's a little stressful behind the scenes, but anything worth having is it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
You gotta
hurdles.
let that shit roll off you now. This time, as far as you done game, let that shit roll off you.
Absolutely.
That little bit of like of fatigue, I feel like it's kind of more of like, yo, I'm doing something similar, and it's not like the immediate like hit, like how your brain is already at the end sometimes. But like just taking away from that and realizing like when I look at people, when I look at their careers and how hard they worked at it, I'm like, oh, I'm well in line, and I'm ahead of course for where they were when they decided to start. Like I came into this with some already kind of polished feels, and now it's just like
I know
retuning
what you
everything
mean.
to be exactly right.
Right.
If I can mean that clearly.
Facts. Even when I think about like when I brought it up to somebody the other day, and when I really thought about it, I said, "Yo," especially in like the media space, I said, "Yo, I'm going on like 17 years of consistently being around this, like and all the things I've learned." And how I'm utilizing so many things I've learned over the years from people on those big stages, people that are behind the scenes on the big stages, people on the medium stages, I guess, like if you would. But in my own experience and being in front of them and making sure I've been getting out and like even like the traveling, like when I think back on what why certain moves, like for example, like when we went to Atlanta, like why we did and how much like we say like we really learned in that time and like exposing yourself to things. So
And like how you said, like for you personally, like being around it, you was on like you was behind different scenes of it. Like you got to be the artist, then you got to see it from like like an A&R's,
Executive.
like an A&R's perspective, then like maybe like an executive perspective,
management
like
perspective, all that.
so like you got to really be around it in all forms. So like having that background for all of that and putting it all together is very knowledgeable to have because you can be like super informative to somebody.
Yeah, and because like now at this point, it's really in the different spaces. That's why I like say media because it's like okay, back then it was music, but it still kept me around media. Then it became like the podcast technically first, then the authoring, and then now and like this year has been the year I got back to shoot all
All
three
of it,
really,
yeah.
all of them technically. No.
Flowers to that,
I
man.
mean, no, now clap, motherfucker. What you talking about? Nigga, talking about, that's a major accomplishment, nigga. You just said you went back to some shit. You know how many niggas don't go back? Them niggas try some shit and that be the it for them.
Yeah.
Young niggas we know probably hooped they ass off, didn't get to the actual NBA level, but probably could have played overseas. Probably could have been somewhere on somebody's team,
Lot of
coaching, doing
professional
shit. And a
teams
lot of
now.
niggas said, "Fuck it, I'm a nigga." So like, embrace yourself and embrace yourself in your journey of I'm going back down a different path.
And it goes back to last episode, like, yo, we you gotta believe in it and you really have to feel like it. See, look, when the dream started, like when I say like this journey started for me 17 years ago, 17 years ago was where my mindset, how it is now, and the way I dream and how I look at things is still the same way. That's why I always say people like him and like maybe like a couple others, I was like, yo, the way I do things now, it's not really a shock. That's what I say because I always felt like this is not a front. I didn't try to go the entrepreneur route or anything when the pandemic hit, like most people did.
Well, you
I'm like,
did
yo,
technically.
this, huh?
You did technically.
But it started before that.
Oh, you mean like you always been an entrepreneur? Okay.
Like the mindset of it, like my mindset is like always been like, yo, this is what I want to do. So that's why it's more of the not necessarily going back, but the readjusting is how I look at it. Oh, it didn't work like this when I did it this way. Okay, let me just readjust and try it this way, see if this works. Oh, maybe that way didn't work, but I did learn from this. Let me just readjust and try this now with that knowledge in it. So to me, maybe it's not necessarily going back, it's just a readjusting. And we said that, like, yo, sometimes, like, with us having the accountability, we can look with each other, like, with the hurdles and be like, yo, watch out for that, because remember last time you got stuck on that, so, like, yo, just remember, go around it this time. And all that. But it's still not to say, like, you know, new levels, new devils, but it's still the, yo, if you keep the mindset and keep pushing, that's the reason why I believe that I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win in this season too, is because of, yo, I still didn't give up on what the original dream and goal is since I was 15 years old. 15 years old, 15, 16, or I really say like 16 is when it really, like, in me, like, where it was really that pause, like, but but it was the
Glad you caught it. I was hoping you caught it, because I was
Crazy.
about to get you the fuck out of here.
no,
Cause you did the hand motion. I said, hey, yo. Give him a second. Give him a second. He gonna clean it up.
I ain't gonna lie, it was
He
my
gonna
passion.
clean it
It was
up.
my passion starting to come out, but I had to remember.
Pause again.
I had to remember.
Pause again.
I had to remember.
It was your
I had to
passion
remember.
coming out? But no, I feel you, and I feel similar in that. Like for me, like, I feel like a lot of the things I went through in my journey of life kind of led me back to where I was, just in different fields. It was always ownership. Like, I come from a car family, like remodeling, rebuilding, racing. That's my family. So, like, ownership of a shop was kind of like just the dream that was there for me as a kid. That was like, I went to high school on that plight, but in that time period, the world kind of took a turn. Technology was always there for me too, from my grandparents. So, and then my brother went down to school to Atlanta and came back. It was like, nigga, we going to Bloomsburg. I was like, fuck it, all right. And whole life different course. And it kind of led me back to where I'm now in all those fields. So I've been in management since I was like 18. I've been working for different companies. I've learned all the tools to kind of run your own ship from my journeys through life, and it kind of bring me back to now I'm running my own ship in the field I choose. So it's kind of an amalgamation of all my who I was coming back to just recognizing that, yo, that none of that shit was pointless. It was for this part of your journey.
And in similar cases, like when I had like the management positions too, I also credit that as well. Like, yo, that's part of the journey too, to know how to, like, yo, if you got a team, how to steer it, and like if you eventually, like, you know, we plan to have a staff in the near future, God willing, that, like, so we have that leadership of knowing, like, yo, when you have a payroll type thing, you can have it with your business though, but you learn how to do it in the field that wasn't necessarily your name or what you created, but you have the experience of it. So that's why sometimes, like now, even when I look at it, I say, man, it's definitely probably better that the success is going to come in my 30s better than being 21, because some of the things, like when I see some of the young guys do in their early 20s, like, you know, that have it, and I see a lot of the mistakes they make or the way they do things, I'm like, bro, I can't fault them because they're only like 22. I'd have probably been doing the same exact thing.
Even worse.
No,
Yeah.
facts.
So it's one of them things, like, so that's what I definitely credit a lot of the journey to. And then now I'm kind of at a point too, like, why let all that go to waste? All that stuff you learn, all the people you were able to get in front of, continuously get in front of, and in the rooms you continuously still get to be in, why let all that go to waste? Like, why? So that's why I said, so I probably wouldn't say it's me going back, but it's the readjusting to it and how and where in my position in it. Like, so that's why I was like, so. But what would y'all say what y'all stand on that keeps the mindset of like a morale and necessarily keep y'all on the line of staying in line with your path and your dream or what you want to do?
Morale.
Elaborate.
I would probably say,
Yeah.
because sometimes it takes a certain morality, like you got to have, like, you know, yo, well, like you know, your morality, you have a disciplines in there, like, so you think of like, yo, I know I have to have a certain level of discipline. So your morality is like, so when you're giving game, you're telling people, yo, you got to have a certain level of discipline because this is what I carry to make sure I get there.
I feel like
maybe morale wasn't the best.
Yeah,
like,
I'm about to say,
but
what are
like
your disciplines?
principles
like
and
discipline. Yeah, I
yeah.
got you.
I feel like for me, one like huge thing is like what I be like saying to you sometimes is like trying not to be too high or too low about what's going on, because I know like the yin and yang to life is like, yo, when things are going bad, it can only get better. So I try not to get too down like when I am like down, or like when I'm high, like when I'm up. I try not to really bask in it, because I know like at any given point I can start to this shit can start to fade at any point. Like, so I try to just like learn how to say even kill about stuff, so you don't even have expectations for certain things, depending on like if you just starting out or something. Like, if I sell 100 million copies or something like that, I don't want to have that same expectations of selling another 100 million or
Yeah.
something, or
'Cause,
like
you know-
or grossing like 100 million or like in something. Like, I wouldn't want that stigma on me, because it's like, yo, that could have just been me at my super creative time or something at the moment. Like, I could have another one, but what if that don't take me another like 2-3 years or something?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to like hold myself in that box of like, oh yeah, well, this now is the standard. Like, so for me personally, I just try not to get too high or too low about things. And because I've been certain ages and I've been there before, like, not like it's like on some shit like I try not to get too up or down about it. And I don't preach. I try not to preach. I just try to tell you like what something might be coming with, because I might have walked down that path already. So I might tell you like, yo, bro, like how you said, like, yo, this road got some bumps. Like, might got to swerve here, swerve there, but I'm trying to look out for you though, like, yo, because pothole might really be one of them, and that ain't something that you want to go down like that rabbit hole of whatever they like.
And real quick, like, because this, I guess, also ties into, like, when I say, like, some of the readjusting, like we said in the last episode, I was like, sometimes it is like, yo, you might have to make the U-turn because it's a detour and it's road work, so you got to make a detour and go, like, on a different road to get back on the road ahead. So sometimes it's like that.
No, facts. And I mean, my principle or discipline would be a couple. Like, I'm big on creating a method, sticking to that method and perfecting it, and that'll bring you much success, and also routine. Like, a lot of jobs are successful creating a routine for you, where you have to come in, clock in, do your job, go to work, go home. So every day that you do that, you're productive for them, not even knowing. Like, you might have helped the companies to come out the black into the green by just being on your routine, because you come to work every day and do what you're supposed to do. And if you do that same thing in your endeavors and your like careers and businesses, you'll develop a way to continue the business afoot and if you perfect that like a method, if your routine kind of grows and develops with you as you go in your career, like you never get complacent, you'll just be better off for it.
And I definitely agree with you with that, because that's definitely one of mine. It's definitely like, yo, if I can get up and work this hard and stress, oh, I'm about to be late, and oh, I got to make sure I'm at work on time, make sure I'm doing my job to keep my job. I was like, I'm gonna have that same discipline for myself, like, yo. But and I think it's like, yo, if you don't show up for this, it's all just gonna crash and burn if you don't do it. So it's more of a risk. So you should go in with that same discipline. But I would probably say one of my biggest ones is, and I would tell everybody, remain coachable. Stay coachable. Remain a student of the game. Do not always think you know everything, because there's always more to learn. It's always more game to receive. The world's always changing and developing. Just remain a student, and if you're coachable, you can always come through, because you can always learn and you can always build. Like, you don't have to reach a plateau, because there's always another level or something more you can learn, and just a little extra you can do, or somebody that may know a easier way that could teach you or try to help you from the hurdles and the roadblocks. So just always remain a student of the game, no matter what field you're in. Remain coachable.
No, that's a fact. And I feel like you gotta in that you touched on a great point of learning. Like, yo, you gotta always be seeking that knowledge though. Like, never just sitting there waiting, looking around. You gotta be looking for more things to learn to get better. Like, even like and the finesses I do throughout life, I'll try and perfect those. And in that, like even when I complete a task,
Yo, I just heard what you said. Because when he laughed, that's like what I heard it. Like, I'm like, what's funny?
Even in that, and when everything kind of comes to a promotion, and I feel great, I look to all right, what's next? Let me figure something else out, cause hey yo, I got this down to a fucking science now. Like I'm good, I'm crafty. I know when to get it done, and I apply that same knowledge into things that I'm trying to perfect to myself. So that way, like whenever I'm editing, all right, let me look into like I got a good system, but it could be better. Whenever I'm setting up cameras, hey, I can get different viewing angles. I can make shit look better. Let's try. Like let me try it out and see how it goes. And that way, it's allowed me to be very much fluid in how I move throughout different industries.
Yeah, I want piggybacking off of that, like specifically you saying like trying. I'm so big on that. Like, yo, I feel shitty if I don't try something, like, or like feeling like I didn't like do it. Now I won't even say to my all, because you know some things you don't give your all accidentally or purposely. You know, however it's gonna go for you, but like. If I don't try sometimes, like that'll bother me more than not even doing it, or because it give me that like, man, it's that what if, like, yo, what if I would have did it?
Yep.
What if I was successful at it? Like what if it would have went in my favor this time?
You don't try. There's one guaranteed.
Yeah.
You will not know, and it will not happen.
succeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's like
You mean should have, could have been ass nigga.
Yep.
yeah, like as I got older playing basketball, we started like we'll say it in like regular life too, but like it's just like when I used to tell my shooters like, yo, bro, like shoot the ball, like you gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I need you to be aggressive. So it's like,
What was who was LeBron saying it to that year?
it was beautiful. I'll never forget that he was saying it to Caldwell Pope.
Yeah, bro. When
That was one of
When I
my
saw-
favorite. That was like one of
when
my
I saw
favorite
that
encounters,
video,
bro.
I think I said to you, I was like, bro, I know that feeling. I said, I know that feeling of that. Like that, you come in the ear, yo, I need you, like, I want you to shoot. Don't worry about it. Just shoot the ball. Like, just
Yeah,
shoot it.
I know
Stop
that saying.
thinking, shoot it. Like,
That same
That was
feeling,
beautiful
and
to
I know
me,
how I
bro.
feel to be on both ends of that spectrum. Like being a nigga telling you to shoot and a nigga receiving that game.
Nah, me too. I'm to say,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, score the ball. Like bro, stop, don't worry about passing. We'll lock everything else down. Score. We need you to score. Like, so I'm like, nah, I know what that's like too. Like on both ends, like to be yelling, like, bro, I need you to be aggressive so I can start kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like,
and some of the times I always say that's how I really receive, like, well, I know somebody cares about, like, because it's like, yo, you're doing it out of a place of love and a place of like, yo, I know you can do this. I believe you can do it. You have to believe in you though.
Right.
Like, this is what I want you to do. Stop second guessing. Do it.
Right.
So what? You miss a shot. Keep doing that. Like, because I know you can do it. I know once you get that hot hand, then
yeah,
it's over. Like,
bro, and for me personally, like, you know, back in high school, I used to get on my shooters in the huddle, but like, you know, like you being so confident in them, like it's like how you saying it's like they don't receive it as yelling because I'm so like I'm so in that mode. He just know like, oh, he believe in me so much that I, like how you said, I do need to start believing myself because I know who I am on the regular. And I remember we had this one shooter from Oregon, and he told us like everything out there is double rims. So like bro, when I talk about he probably arguably the best shooter I ever played with ever in my life. Like like I'm talking about if he catch and shoot us up. Like if he get time to sit there, catch and shoot us over. So I remember he had a few games like that where like he wasn't hitting, and he was a real competitor, so he'd get real down on himself. And I used to get on like, yo, bro, shoot, bro. Like you my shooter. I need you to shoot. Cause if you hit 2-3 in a row, bro, it's over. Can't nobody stay in front of me anyway. But bro, once you start hitting, bro, it's gonna start getting ugly. And bro, once he hit 2-3 in a row, he start flame on, like, and then
One of the best feelings ever in
Is it?
life.
Is it,
when
bro?
that ball go through the hoop and you like, oh wait, oh shit now.
Yeah, bro.
We about to have some fun because
Bro.
it's just the way it come off your hand sometimes when it's like pause. But when but it's that motion that like you really feel like you can't be stopped at a certain point sometimes when that shot's falling, especially from three.
Yeah.
Like that shit'll change your whole course. Like I remember we was playing outside one time, like one of my last few times, playing like as like as a person, that confidence I used to have, and it was like playing with like we was outside the dorms, and I'm like towards where like a couple of my friends are in grad school now. I'm towards the end of my college career, and it's like the freshmen there. We like, yo, like, and my man just got there. Like, this is his first year in Bloom, so he never really seen me hoop. So he like, yo, what you trying to go? I'm saying, let's go run him off the court. And I hop in the back. I'm like, all right, well, I don't think none of these niggas as good as the niggas I played with. So I'm just gonna take over the game like I would when I was younger. And it was just so fun to go back to like not really giving a fuck. Like, I mean, coming on the court, getting past half court and just shooting that shit, and that shit going, and niggas looking like, what the
That's how I
fuck
be feeling
just
now when
happened?
I'm hooping. Like it's like I don't care anymore. Like I be out there, I be out there having fun. So, but and I think that there's a good lesson in that. That's what I liked about when I was A&R and everything I was doing in between, like the new stuff I was trying when I was doing it, is because who I was working with, he was able to see certain things like how maybe y'all may have seen with me on the like being able to look from the outside. So anytime he told me, hey, try this, do this, I always took it as, you know what, I'm gonna try it because knowing how he is, he wouldn't tell me to do something he didn't believe I could do. Like, so anything, like when he told me like, yo, try doing this, and I tried it and it worked, and it was like, and I was like, yo, because I know it comes from a place of like, yo, he's like, I know him, he's not gonna tell me to do something he don't believe I can't do. Like, he ain't just gonna throw me in the fire, or he'll throw me in the fire, but he knows, like, bro, you gonna put that shit out though. Like, he knows that about you, but it's just that I need you to know about yourself. So, and I think that's what we need more of in our community, definitely, like, of like, yo, let's help each other be great. Like, especially us as black folks and black men, let's help each other be great. Like, we don't have to always just like try to bring each other down or be in competition with everybody. Because some of the times, like, yo, it's enough money. I mean, not some of the times, it's enough money out here for everybody. And it's enough opportunity for everybody. Maybe not exactly depending on what you want to do, but if you're good enough, like, yo, you can make anything happen. But let's start really trying to press each other to be great and not press each other to get out the way. Like, let's really help each other as a people.
No, that's facts, and I feel that way about community, like so much. Like even our talk and how we got here, kind of how I landed on the name of my podcast. Like your Friendly Neighborhood Podcast came from like that feeling of like community and wanting like your neighborhood really meant a lot to you growing up. Like in that sense, however long your block was, whatever long your intersection was, that meant the world to you, and you were doing things for them people. I think we need to have that approach to like our culture as a whole. And every culture could have that approach. They kind of are together, but I speak mainly about black culture when I'm
It's
talking.
nepotism.
So, of course, every time. But it's that thing that we're missing that I feel like is when people talk about all this shit and all the rate, that's the only thing I feel like we're missing. Like when we really cared about your neighbor a little bit. Like even to like the transition from like those like early 90s when it was like the respect men kind of have for each other, transition to like when you get to early 2000s when it kind of turned to like hate and grime and I want what you got was always kind of like how I felt niggas felt when they saw somebody doing well. Instead of being like, damn, that nigga's up, and I appreciate, yo, look, it's somebody from my community that's up. That's going to help the community alone. Like, yo, and people don't have that anymore.
And including the street guys, because they will know somebody like, yo, this youngin can hoop, and he's really good. He's going to be the savior, but he's around the neighborhood, and they're still like, yo, you can kick it, but you're not getting into none of this. You make sure you go to school and stay on that court, because then you're gonna be the one that's great. Like, and then you know the real ones from them times like that you're speaking of is okay, we're gonna use the money we have too to make sure you get there as well. Oh, y'all can't afford to get you no sneaks, so you can like get the. I'm gonna go get you your sneaks.
Right.
Like that's when like people take you under the wing, and that
get your sneaks, take you to games.
Yeah,
I'll
and-
pay for your AAU. I pay for the trip. No, that shit was real.
Even though like my years of like active and being like, oh well, all of us is like pretty much the same, like of those teenage years like 2000s, but I'm glad I still had that. Like shout out my big cuz DeAndre. He's somebody that really took me under his wing. Like, so I ain't gonna lie, like probably a lot of my style, especially back then, a lot of my style, the way I dressed, the way I move was because him. I'm like, yo, this is somebody that was older that allowed me as a 14, 15-year-old to really be around him. Like, he accepted me. That's why I do that when my other young guys like, yo, no, you can be around me. You can come get this game because I had somebody do it for me. Then shout out to G as I got older, like more in my like later, like my like my early 20s, like the beginning, that's when he came, and he's another one that took me like, nah, I made all these mistakes, so now I'm telling you, so you don't do it like that, do it like this, and they worked for me. He gave me some of the best game I could ever have, so that's why I see why that is so important, and why like that's a lost cause and lost art of things in our neighborhood and as a community. It's just taking, like, being willing to take somebody under the wing, the young boy, and be like, no, I made these mistakes. I'm going to show you why you shouldn't, so that way you can be better. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I still had that. That's why I'm still that person, and why I'm in front of this camera doing it like the way I do it. Because I want that, but I just believe my ministry is global.
No, that's a fact. And I feel like that same thing you take to people's intuition. My mom saved me technically in her mind from a bunch of shit that I kind of, if I would listen to, I've been fine. Like, but I didn't do it because I believed I was so smart and so young and can't nobody touch me. Like, nigga, your brain over and process how my brain process, and be like, no, she saw it 10 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. She'd be like, oh no, that one thing you talking about right now could jeopardize all of this. Mm-hmm. And in those instances, like, my main message to them, like, say, oh, head, listen to your folks too. Listen to those women in your life that pour into you, that kind of might just tell you not to go somewhere that one time. And you like, man, I know, I've been there 10 times. You might not want to go. Just take the advice.
And they live that lifestyle. Like, you watch them live that lifestyle. They do this. They do that. So it's really more like, yo, I'm not faking that. Like, and I can see that. I know you've been through that. I know you dealt with it. And I still see the things you deal with. So it's more of a, no, all that you see what I'm going through now is what I don't want you to have to go through. So that's why I say, like, the way I receive game is like really being a place of love and correction. Anytime I say if somebody's willing to correct me, especially behind closed doors, like when I know they're not trying to embarrass me and all that, like, that's when I know, oh, they really care about me, because they're making sure I don't make a lot of mistakes. They're making sure my mindset is a certain way. They're making sure that I keep a level of morality.
And it's like what you said too. As far as like people receiving that joint, it's like now, like you get old, like when the older person say to you, yo, you not doing nothing that I've never seen before. And it's like, yo, it's such a cliche when you young, because you don't understand it. But like now, I be trying to tell my little cousins or some of the young homies, like, yo, like, y'all ain't doing nothing that we didn't do before. Like, all of y'all think y'all not the first gangsters. Y'all not the first people that's trapping. Y'all not the first people that was doing certain, like, we ain't have AAU, but we had travel teams. Like, it wasn't as global as it is now.
Yeah,
but like,
even then, AAU, it was different.
So it's like, yo, like, life literally repeats itself. Like, literally, like, you see like, everything that I did as a kid, I see the youngins doing, like, wow, like, they really out here thinking that they some of the first people to do this or some of the first people to do that. So it just be funny. I was having that convo, like, yo, like, you
ain't
like,
nothing new under the sun.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And shout out, rest in peace, OG Sherm. I feel like he
R.I.P. man.
He made a big impact on,
and his daughter.
For sure.
He was the homie.
I felt like his impact was more like trying to get us to embrace continuing being ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
And I bang with him for that, because he was like, yo, like, back in nowadays, we would have called y'all squares, but y'all really the cooler, like, y'all really the cool ones. Like, people that's think that, oh, we all gonna hustle, we all gonna do this, we in and out of jail, whatever. He said, yo, when you come home and you do them years in and out and you realize all the time you waste, he's like, yo, them people that we was calling nerds or them dorks, nah, they was the cool ones. Like, they was actually the ones that was winning in life. Like, we thought we was winning because we making money. He was like, but when you get back, you can't keep it. Like,
yeah, he said corny, but he saw, but this is why I give game the same way I do. I'm not gonna say things and not explain why, or if I disagree with something, I'm gonna explain why I do. Like, when he said it, he was like, yeah, like, y'all just live that, y'all have that corny life. And he saw, like, the way we like he was like, no, what I mean is, like, like, we was in the streets and all that. Y'all got good. He said, y'all got a good head on y'all shoulders. Y'all making the right decisions. Young. Y'all doing everything like us. Like, to us, that was corny. But now, at this age in my life, I see that's what I should have been doing.
Right.
So it's like, But like you said, it definitely was a place of embracing who you are.
Right.
Like, yo, stay who you are, because y'all still cool. It's
Yeah,
just
and
like,
that-
y'all just live a safer life.
Yeah,
like,
and that was his thing. He's like, yo, like, you can be everything that y'all are. Y'all cool, y'all get girls, y'all doing this, y'all swinging. He was like, but you don't have to live the street life and do
Yeah.
what you think is cool, quote unquote, or where you come from, where everybody glorify. He was like, yo, like how you said, he was like, yo, you can be the corny dudes and be that guy. He was like, because clearly, like this, this when we was like super younger, so we was working
Yeah.
at Walmart, so people would come through, like they'll see us, oh, that's just Shorty or whatever. I'm like, no, that's just. I'm like, her? I'm like, yeah, she ain't nobody, bro. So it's like he got to see like, oh, y'all the cool
Yeah.
kids, but y'all live that corny life, which is cool. Like,
Yeah.
So
because it's the like y'all can still have the. It's the same way when I say, because we're all still cool with them type of dudes and related to them type of dudes. And then sometimes I always say, like, why it was a little still easy to be cool with them. For one, I was like, they wanted the same thing. They
Because-
wanted girls and money. I said I wanted the same thing and have a good time.
And the super gangsters will tell you, bro, nobody wants to be gangster all the time.
And that's
bro.
the thing I tell about why I say I respect it more when you're like that, because everyone I said like that, I say everyone I know like that is still, or if they didn't, they always are trying to find a way out.
Well, yeah, I mean, because a lot of times, like when you know people like that in those lives, they didn't really choose. Like it became a thing of them kind of catching the trend and then sticking with them, and it
Well,
followed
yeah.
them for the rest of their life.
Right.
When some of these niggas was nerds, like some of the
Absolutely.
hardest kills I know was fans of Dragon Ball Z.
Absolutely.
So
Who's not a fan of Dragon Ball Z?
But
though?
that's
Don't get
but
him
you gotta.
started.
Who's not a fan of that?
Don't get
Who's
him
not a
started.
fan of that?
But you gotta like understand that these people have tried to pretty much suppress that side of themselves to be able to live in that street life, that street code.
Yeah.
And that's why they kind of resonate with some people, like people who didn't go down that path, or people who got there and got to a crossroads and hopped off the fucking journey and took the alternative route, because we're the same. It's just you decided to lean more into something that I decided that I wanted to still be me. Like that shit is none of that shit is you. You don't make the fucking guns. You don't make the drugs. You haven't come with the enterprises. You don't even have time. You don't even know how it fucking gets to you. Now niggas have better idea that, especially with how the trade is going across the fucking world. But back then it just was like, yo, these are things niggas just hand to you, and now they're part of your life. And it's
Word
like,
up.
dog, you didn't grow up with that
And
shit.
sometimes, like we don't blame like what circumstances you from. Like Ice Cube, he wrote After Police and also wrote Are We There Yet? Like it's like it's cool. It's nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with growth. But I know I'm probably switch gears a lot with this real quick, but we also have to stop trauma dumping on each other as well. Like we need to build each other up and stop trauma dumping on each other. What I mean is stop blaming people for help you didn't get. Stop blaming other people like for your what basically, okay, I'm gonna just repeat it then, like, because I'm just basically saying stop dumping what you didn't get help with and blaming it on other people. Like what I mean is like, yo, like if I keep blaming you for issues like or something, like you might I might treat you a certain type of way because I have a certain type of relationship with my brothers, and it's like, and it's not healthy or something, and y'all may not come from the same thing, and I'm just putting it all on you like it's your fault or something, like, and like you don't even really know where it's stemming from. And I think a lot of people do that with their relationships as well. That's why I think there's such a battle right now, and I really believe it's a battle of who's playing their part. Like when you see the men and women talk about like, oh, well, he need to be like this, and then you see a man react, well, she's not, well, women are like this and all that stuff, and we like, y'all are doing too much. I'm gonna say y'all because I know it ain't none of us in this room. Y'all are doing too much blaming on one another and not blaming or taking accountability for the help you didn't get. That's why I said in episode 22, you have to go find that healing, get that healing, so that way you can be better for your partner. You can be better for your family. But we're blaming too much on each other. Oh, well, black men don't do this. They don't do that. They're not take care of this. Black men I'm around, they are.
Right.
Oh, black women aren't doing this. They're like this. Well, the black women I'm around, they're decent people. They got careers. They're doing things around the house. They're making things happen. They're taking care of their families. They clean up behind themselves. They do all that. Like They make fitting wives, and because I'm sick of the stigma of what we have to be, black people. What we have to be. We have to lower our standards. We have to try to beg this. We have to go outside our race. We have to be all these different people. That's all that trauma dumping stuff. Like we have to go outside our race. We can't get that in our race, but we gotta go get it somewhere else. No, we can get all that within us. Like we all just gotta get some healing. Everybody. Like, and stop. Take accountability for the help. You're not getting the healing that you need. You got mommy issues, stop blaming your lady for that. You got daddy issues, stop blaming your man for that. This man did you dirty, this woman did you dirty, stop blaming your partner for that. That's not their fault. You go get help. You can be better. Let's stop trauma dumping on each other.
No, it was a therapist.
Spicy.
Bull. Oh, let me get that. I'm gonna put that in. Stick a shot at me. Okay. But no, it was just a bull on Instagram talking about. I think he like either couples therapist or something like that. And he spoke about when a couple sits down with him and they're going through their problem, and he listens for a key thing, any accountability. Like, hey, you telling me everything they did wrong, but not your role you played into it, and vice versa, in both sides. And he knows right then and there if he can or can't help you. Because now I have to start the journey at will. You got to understand in yourself, everything in life, like that's why I always go back to like, yo, I talk to myself a lot. And niggas think that shit crazy, but it really helps. It's checks and balances. Like even like the smallest thing, like somebody can make a comment and you be like, what the fuck? And then you don't think about anything that went on in the last 24 hours. It's just that comment is something that's this. No, nigga, it was a whole premeditated thing before that involves you and your way and how you led them to that comment. And understand that responsibility allows you to be like emotionally intelligent and empathic and be able to give grace to people when they need it the most. Like a lot of times we're tearing each other down when we should be uplifting each other because they might be in a dark spot.
Especially
that you might have put them fucking there. Like on some man shit. A lot of men like we have like my girl kind of came down to us. She was like, oh, so you got like put me in a category that a lot of people like you got your heart broke one time and. You said fuck it for a little minute. I was like, damn, like I never even thought about it like that because I dated before that. But yeah, that one time when that shit got like to the point to where I was like, fuck it, I'm like, and then it was fuck it. And not knowing that and not understanding like, yo, you might have did that moment to 17 people now that you did not intend to, but because you don't think you can trust anybody, you don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, all right, man, whatever you gonna do, so I'm gonna act how I wanna fucking act. And that shit kind of always hurts you in the long run. Like, that shit is why, like, you be stressed out. Even, like, niggas I knew had the most situations going on at once be the most stressed the fuck out. Gotta worry about this. Tire might get slashed. Car might get broken into. You might not even know who the fuck did it. Because you think you think this is the fun way of doing it. And it's not. It's just the least emotional attachment way. At least way of people really being able to penetrate and pause. And understand like how you really are as a person down to your core. It's just a wall you put up. Oh, I'm just gonna nigga to fuck bitches and live my life. Or I'm gonna run down on niggas. Or I'm still dressing on people. All that kind of shit kind of is just a suit of armor to stop you from letting people into your life.
See, and the thing is, I'm not faulting everybody because we all definitely do go through that. But my issue is only when it's people our age, when it's like, yo, you're still talking like that. See, I was talking like that as a teenager, early 20s. But I was like, bro, I'm not talking about like that in my 30s. That's the issue I have. Because then it's like, yo, because people will say, well, women are like this. And the thing I always say is a lot of men, I was like, a lot of things that I see, especially with these other pods they may say and do, I'm like, I didn't have that experience. So I don't agree with you because you're saying all women are all these situations. They're all like this. I'm like, I didn't have that situation. I not once. Like, so I don't relate. So you can't say we're all like this and they're all like that. And that's why I'm saying like that trauma dumping. But you're absolutely right because that's literally like the stuff like that a lot of them bring up. Like all this stuff, like something that happened to you when I say, yo, I really only maybe been hurt. And it wasn't even crazy. It was just like, my pride. Like at 16 was probably the only time I really was like hurt. Like, oh my God. Like, like this will never happen to me again. And it wasn't even nothing happened. It was just more like feeling another person. But it's just like.
Had you swinging in the room.
But I'm over here like, kinda. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap. Definitely dropped a tear or two. Like I ain't gonna cap, but
no facts.
But I'm saying though, but that was now half my life ago. literally half my life ago. And if I still walk around with that because that one time, and it never happened to me again, but it's still like, yo, and that's what I'm saying. But I knew also still with some healing, growth, maturity, like that, like I got that out of me, so I don't think that same way. Now, like I say, like when I hear young guys say it, like I'm like, okay, like we all been in that place, and you like, you know, you wild, like you seeing everything, you outside, like you seeing everything.
Because like some of that shit ain't like a rite of passage. You ain't gotta go through that shit.
No, you don't. Because like I said, like because I say something like that may have only happened to me once. It may have happened to a dude like every girl he encountered. But then again, like we tell women, hey, sometimes maybe you should look like somewhere else. But then you know they
look in the fucking mirror.
Exactly.
But if it happened every time you date a woman and you like, damn, this shit keep happening. No, nigga, it's you. Whatever that may be.
You
whatever it leads the woman to do, kind of that energy is usually something they picked up from you. Like you decided to like embark on this journey and do it in a certain way to where they pick up your bad habits. Hey, yo, they hate me. I please.
This is a clip.
I welcome it. I comment on it.
No, because we all on the same page.
Hey, look, when I post my clips, you know what? I allow all comments. Give me all the shit. Say all the shit.
Yep.
I like people the thing about negative comments that people.
Oh no, finish your point.
I'm gonna go back to it, but I want to get the thing about negative comments. I don't let anything get into me or let me feel away. I'd rather. Hey, yo, pause. See, look, this is all right. Now we're gonna pause this is about the pause factory now. Fuck it. But like, no, that negative comment is really somebody being them true self, and I'd rather see that. Don't let me only see the comments or people that's congratulating or dumbing down the hate. If you want to say that hard motherfucker, cool, I could block you.
Come on, man.
But I rat like that. That's how motherfuckers feel. Even about like the Biden Trump situation. Like, dog, Trump was the devil we knew. All that shit he did was out and open, and I liked it. The secret,
I definitely
underhanded,
I definitely
like, dog.
more.
Biden just called fucking who was he just honoring at the White House and called him boy. Like, he just had a black man honor him at the White House and called that man boy on camera.
All right, before you get my ticket, but Jay about to take it everywhere.
No,
somewhere.
But it's just that kind of shit. But like, yo, but that's motherfuckers hiding themselves and not being them true selves. And that same way, you end up hiding who you really are to these people you're dealing with, especially in relationships. Like, a lot of time you put up a facade of who you think these women like. And then in that facade, you're just, okay, now women like me, so now I got to make sure I have every woman. And in that, the girl's looking at you, all right, cool, act how you want to act. Nigga, I'm a girl. Niggas want me, so I step out the door. Like, I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to have no game. I ain't got no car. I ain't got to have nothing. I could be the brokest, dumbest, dirtiest, and niggas are still, yep, come on, girl. I'll go and change your life. Like, that shit happens for them. So it's a whole different muscle where we think we getting our shit off when they really get their shit off and you be crying in the tub. So like, it really be that way. So for me, it'd be like, dog, have more respect for somebody. If you want to deal with somebody and date somebody, yo, open yourself up to it. Be like, why fucking be in a committed relationship if you're not? You allow somebody to sleep in your crib, pay for every one of their meals, or y'all go half and half. However y'all choose to, y'all are taking care of each other in an essential way, but not in your emotions, not in your soul, like not in things you really need to help you move forward in your life. To where you could hopefully one day bring a child into this world, into a loving, caring household, without having to do the work after.
And the problem is, real quick, and the problem is, like, because we don't want y'all to take this when we say, like, yo, stop looking where you're looking. Too many of our community, that means go look at a different race, like, completely. No, stop just looking in the same exact area where you go. Like, if you keep finding them and you keep getting the same person from finding them at the bar, yo, go to the bookstore, go to Barnes and Noble and find someone else. Like,
that's
but
get you together first. Like, you going to go look for somebody when you ain't look for you. You ain't figure out who you is in this shit. You don't know who you are in this world. You just here and you think you need a companion because that's what you always. That's what TV glorifies.
And that's what I say. If y'all go back, if y'all been watching and are real fans, if y'all been paying attention. Put a clip out like that a couple weeks ago. I said, yo, you can be better for who you're with if you go heal yourself, if you go take care of yourself and find who you are first. But that's why I be telling it to the younger people first. Go find who you are first before you get into that. So when you get in it, it could just be good from the start.
Older people too, younger,
Yep.
older, everybody.
anybody.
Figure out who you are. It's better for your life. You're not gonna hate your job, you know. But no, like it just be in those situations to where we choose to kind of disassociate with who we are really and believe the facade that you created. Like a lot of times niggas run around and you in these bars, you at these bookstores pretending to be somebody you're not. If you was just you might attract the right person. If you was at the bookstore talking about what your real interests were and not trying to be cool or look tough or be hard or fucking make sure everybody see every time you stand up, you can see the gun on your hip, like that type shit is you playing a character. That's not who you are. When you go home at night, you're not fucking, half you niggas only got real ops. And the ones that do got to live a different, they not in the fucking bar like that. Them niggas is, it's a different lifestyle. Like a lot of you niggas want to be the tough guy in the cool environment. That's not what you needed. You want to be tough? Hey, it's a military service. They need you over there. Them niggas is giving Ukraine all their fucking money. They need help. So go help them, tough guy. Like that's why I feel like the one comedian that said everybody, instead of sending niggas to jail because I fucking hate prisons and it's stupid, send niggas to the military. It changes the whole trajectory of the United States.
I'll say my opinion on that off camera, but I'm definitely saying because Jay saying a lot. I'm like, yo, he gonna get the camera shut off.
Hey. Fuck the prison industrial system and the school to prison pipeline.
They're wrong for so long they couldn't correct me in that correctional.
Did you want to say something? No, I know you wanted to say something.
I forgot. Jay started going. He started
Talking about how handsome I was. That's what doing this Bulls jacket. Yeah, I like it.
That's normally the night before, but you know.
Hey, yo, hollering. Pause, because that was crazy. That was crazy. So they talking about that's the night before. Like I'm like, and then we gonna have people like, oh, what they talking about? What happened the night before? Like,
Marcus about to get your head from around me.
this episode about to just be called Pause.
I like it.
Pause.
Wait a minute.
What?
All right, this has gotten out of hand. I like the name of the episode being Pause. You motherfuckers.
I like it. Hey, yo.
All right, man. All right.
This has been a King Status podcast.
Definitely. Like, this has been the King Status podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow us on all our social medias and subscribe to the. Man, I already said it. All of this stuff is in the description below. With me, your host, Mr. Moore the King, along with
EdBuck LC, aka Playboy Bucky. You know what's going on.
Jay Doucet.
The prolific podcaster. What else?
Oh, the prolific potter. Mr. Prolific. Mr. I am your neighbor. And also Mr. If I do
say so.
Myself.
Myself.
This has been the King Status podcast. Tune in next week. Peace.
And love.